Well, Bruce and I met in the early 80s. Bruce had finished a film, Last of the Blue Devils, and he was promoting it around the country, and he ran into Clint at some function, and they started talking, and Clint had in his mind that we were, somewhere in the mid-80s, we were going to do the picture Bird. And their relationship came together because Bruce had this incredible mind about jazz. He knew all the players, he knew the songs, he'd been to all the clubs from Kansas City to New York, everywhere. He had met all these musicians. And when you look at that, and you look at David, if you look at his background, you can see that they knew similar people at different times. But that's how this business is. It is a business where you don't obviously meet everybody at the same time. And I can give you a piece on David. One of the very first films I saw when I went to work at Warner Bros. In the mailroom, Splendor in the Grass. A great film. And then he does Manchurian Candidate. Now here's the real thread. 13 years later, I go to work at El Paso, and the editor of that Manchurian Candidate, Ferris Webster, is Clint's editor, and is my final mentor in becoming an editor. So you don't know in this business who you know today, where you might know somebody tomorrow, and how you meet. We've never met, but if you look at the body of the work of this man, it is amazing, amazing. And he would tell you right now, he wouldn't change a day of it. And Bruce, bless his soul, he's gone now. His mind was amazing about jazz. And when Benford called me and said that he wanted to put the name of Bruce on the Lifetime Achievement Award for the Paso Film Festival, I told him I would come up if he wanted me to be part of giving this award away, because Bruce is dear to my heart. And Gary Roach, who edits with me, is not here tonight. He's home because he's working on a project around the clock. But he wishes he was here to also be here, be part of this, because Bruce and his family are dear to us. And Bruce spent nights at my house, spent nights at Gary's house, and he's an amazing, his mind was amazing to jazz. And we have this little 7-minute piece we want to show you about Bruce and his work. On behalf of the Paso Film Festival here, I am honored to present you with the first Bruce Ricker Lifetime Achievement Award. And I know Bruce would be honored if he was standing here just to be in your presence and say thank you for your music and what you've contributed to our culture and our society here in America. Thank you very much.
About Thelonious Monk, the one by Johnny Burst, which I'm going to see tomorrow for the first time.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Dave Brubeck, all these extraordinary people who were our great-great-grandchildren. We're 100 years from now. People are still going to be listening to that music, because like Bach, Shakespeare, Mozart, and a lot of other great pickers of their time, it was built to last, for real, and regardless of what the circumstances were, everybody kept on keeping on and kept trying to get better. And all of those shared that generosity that Clint does, of trying to do more than is expected, and what Bruce Ricker did, of being able to try to put something out there while we're here on earth that might be of value to other people, to share what we love with other people. So I could certainly thank you because we're right here.
Yes.
I hope you could, all you folks who know Clint, tell him on behalf of hundreds of musicians how much we love everything that he's done for jazz, for music, for the art of acting.
Yes.
I was just in Italy 3 weeks ago, playing at a whole bunch of festivals, and a whole bunch of Italian folks came up, said how much they loved Clint's work, not only for what they called the spaghetti westerns, but what he did for jazz, because over there people see that music the way they see Puccini and Rossini as great lyrical, soulful music that they would like to see preserved in the same high level that they preserve their own magnificent folk music and their own operas and symphony music. So if all of you could thank Clint when you see him, and also tell him on a personal note, that music for the $1 Million Baby, I guess it was him playing the piano.
Yes.
That was the hippest thing I've ever heard. There's a symphony orchestra, a synthesizer, or the Westminster Choir. Just that simple music was so appropriate, so tasteful, and the way he's used music, and the way you guys have used music in films, in dramatic films, is just spectacular, something that we all appreciate. Also to thank Max Gale, a great actor, who's the one who did all Barney Miller, we went to all these places where they might shoot us, all the knowing Max from that show, I said, oh, he was like a hero, because he was like a hero cop in that TV series. We were able to go everywhere. Max took every cent that he saved and gave it all to the Indian people who were struggling and made that wonderful document, just as you've done, as Clint's done, and so many, and many of the people here who are documentary filmmakers. Max did that same thing and spent his time and money and effort and soul trying to tell a story about Native American, Indian people, a fraction of which we saw in that film that Larry made. To thank Larry for 2.5 years of not only putting up with me and all my nutcase friends, all the crazy